Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Glaciercano here today for another episode / series of Retro Time. And this time I'm going to be playing The Sims 1. I believe this is actually like the Deluxe edition. That's what I had lying around. I haven't actually played the PC version of this game until like just the other day, just to like test out some things, like you can see here, and build some houses. Which, before I do anything really, yeah, because I think that this is probably going to be more than just one episode, because, you know, this is probably going to be just like Roller Coaster Tycoon, and things happen. And, oh, okay, that's just the same portion of that. I was wondering, like, why is there a lot right in the center? There's no road! But, yes, this is also, as always, this is the series to show how amazing these older games are. Although it's not that old of a game. It's only like from 2000, like to 2002, I think they said on this for like the Deluxe edition, so. But yeah, first I'm gonna show off a little bit of just a randomness that I had been messing around with, just to make sure that this place is all, you know, somewhat populated. Those people there, they don't have a house. They're the homeless that live on the street. I think they have a tree. That's something. But see, this is what like my first house that I was just like messing around with, just to see if I could build something. At the time, I didn't know how to remove objects. That's why there's a tree in the middle of his house. And I wasn't cheating for this at all, because I didn't know what the cheats were, so I ran out of money, obviously. He doesn't have any real doors. He just kind of has, you know, doorways. And the reasoning for this is that, yeah, I was going to be like, oh, yeah, you need to have something for food. And then I was running out of money, and I thought, well, he needs something fancy. I'm gonna give him a computer. And since he had no tables, I put the computer on top of, like, I think that's a dishwasher. And the first time he tried to use it, it instantly broke. That's why he's trying to fix it. And he has no sort of way of learning how to fix things properly, so that's why he's just typing on a computer to try to fix it and going, oops, ow! How, I don't know how somebody can get hurt by, like, typing, but apparently that happens. So yeah, that's the first house. So that's like Michael from the Bachelor family. He's a loner in a giant house that has nothing in it. It's pretty depressing. And no, I don't want to save that. And then here's the second house that I made. It's a little bit more extravagant. Their net worth is $295,000 because I definitely used cheats for this one. And, you know, it was more of another test to see how many, like, people I could get into a house. You can apparently have 8, but I only had 6 on this one. I can't, like, hover over. I'm pointing at the screen with my finger, but, like, you can't hover over, like, their faces when you're in the menu thing here. But let's just go into this. So this is what I played this for, like, until, like, one night cycle. And this is kind of what happened. So apparently, I think it might be this Leonilla. By the way, I didn't really, like, think up these names. I just kind of, well, at least for the females, because I can't think of any, like, good names for women, is that I just kind of went into a random name generator. That one I totally named Gingy. But, and Frenchie. You can tell my names if they're the weird ones for, like, the guys. But yeah, somebody started a fire, and there's a bunch of people over. Oh yeah, there's Michael, that he's from the Bachelor family. He wanted to come in to have some fun. This is obviously the most biggest party house thing ever. Why is that computer on? Oh well. Yeah, I decided to put 4 computers next to each other there. That's pretty legit. They can have like a full-on like gaming session. It's a home LAN party. It's awesome. But yeah, basically I just was trying to figure out what items there are in this game and go from there. And people are very messy and leave all their trash everywhere. Hey, look, there's a lava lamp. So yeah, see, this is basically what happened. And everybody's like freaking out because there's a fire. This is on the first night still. It's pretty horrible that's happened. Everybody's freaking out. That's another weird name that I just kind of found on the internet. Dominga. Apparently that's a female name. I don't know. But see, everybody's asleep except for Vila. See, that's one that I actually named because she looks like one of the characters from Jet Force Gemini. If you ever played that, which you probably haven't, it's like one of the best games ever, by the way. If you see, look at that, like the hairstyle and everything is blue. It's like it's totally Jet Force Gemini, and you know it. But yeah, everybody came up here except for her. I just had to show that. It was pretty amazing. And after the fire, they're just like, oh yeah, we all have to leave now. You can deal with that fire stuff. But hey, it's only like 1:26 a.m. It's not that late. Oh yeah, and also before I leave, it's Thor, because he sort of looks like Thor. Like it's sort of. Oh, okay, maybe he was another person that didn't come see the fire, because he was sleeping outside. Because there's only 4 beds and 6 people, and there was some issues, to say the least. They don't like to sleep in the same beds as each other. So let's go to what I was planning on doing for this. Is that basically I'm going to move in a new family into this 10 Sims lane and see what I can do for actually playing this game properly. And the family I'm going to do that is called the Kano family. This is just basically a family of just random people that I say are kind of important to me of my random YouTube stuff. You'll remember some of the names if you watched enough of my series. Except for, like, in this, I put in, like, Nico instead of, and also, like, Mr. Creeper instead of, like, Kirby. I should have put in Kirby. King Kirby I should have put in, but I don't know why I forgot. But yeah, I'm gonna move in this family to 10 Sims Lane. And this is a bit too small of a house, I think, for 8 people. So this is gonna get interesting, I think. And, yeah, they don't have a second story. I expected this to be bigger than this, because, like, on their... Oh, they're so antisocial. Mr. Fisty's just, like, sitting there reading a newspaper. Oh, man. But I think the first thing I need to do here is, of course, buy some furniture. Hey, wait, they have a fireplace? I did not know that. That's awesome. So I think this is probably going to be like their living room, and that's probably supposed to be a kitchen. And that's maybe a bathroom? I don't know. I'd say that the bathroom's possibly in the middle, even though that's a really horrible place for it. But I think that, unlike usual, I won't forget the bathroom this time and actually do that first. Because, you know, that's an important thing not to forget. Although there is the problem that, like... That's in maximum security prisons? What? I think we might want something a bit better than that. Let's put that in there. Because we don't want this place to feel like a prison. Not entirely. Although it probably will be anyway, because 8 people for this... Let's just look at our people here first. I'll let you get to know everybody. If I can move over there. It's going to be hard to control this mouse because, you know, I'm not using my proper mouse or anything. But, still in live mode, there's me. I am like a Sherlock Holmes, like, some sort of sports person. And there's Mr. Creeper, he's like some sort of, like, I don't even know what you call that. I'd say he's like some sort of, like, crazed scientist. And... Let's stop moving, everybody. Yeah, there's Surge. Surge Hunter. He is some guy that is, like, a Roman, like, esque person that has, like, a toga. I think that's what you call it. There's Nico, that he has... Everybody's just, like, standing around the bathroom and, like, clapping that... Why are you so happy that you can actually, like, use a toilet? I don't know. But, there's Nomi, he's like some sort of reporter guy that with some crazy suit. There's Joanna, that she has... Look over here, come on, go here. She's some sort of like ninja, assassin woman. And, let's see, who else is there? Oh yeah, Mr. Fisty, of course, you've seen before. He's a guy with a kilt and like a crazy beard. He's very menacing, that's the most important thing. And... Yeah, and then there's Shenron, that he's another sort of, like, gladiator guy. He sort of makes sense. to do that. I don't know why Surge Hunter's just... He's just watering the plants. He's having a good time. But yeah, that's the whole family. There's 8 people. I still should have, like, instead of Mr. Creeper, I should have put in King Kirby, but whatever. There's 8 people, there's only 1 woman, so that's going to make things very, very interesting later on, but I think I need to buy a few more things first, before people get a little bit too ahead of themselves, and are the only ones ever using the bathroom. Is it actually I think it's probably cheaper just to buy, like, let's see that. Do I get a description? Hygiene 2... I'm just going to assume that it's probably best to have a freestanding, like, sink, as opposed to, like, one of those, because you have to buy, like, a thingy to have it sit on, and I don't want to buy a counter. I don't have that kind of money. I only have 5,000. Maybe that's where the shower should be, so maybe I'll put, like, the sink right there, or can I put things on angles? I don't know. I'm just going to assume not, and they're probably going to have the cheapest shower. If only this could be at an angle, because, like, if you had, like, a walk-in thing, like, if you had an angle, like, right there, that would make the most sense, and it would be awesome, but no. If only we had, like, enough money for a huge bathtub. Oh, well, it's gonna be like that, so then you can... Everything's facing that one direction. It makes sense, it makes sense. Okay, and then the next thing that we generally would need, I think, would be possibly a bed. All we can afford is probably 1 bed, though, which is kind of the unfortunate thing. Unless we could actually... Yeah, we can afford 2, I think, but... We could just, like, throw a ton of cots, like, right next to each other in here. Because there's no way they're going to be able to sleep in the same bed with each other. But I'll put in 1 for now. And, I think that a kitchen is probably more important, to say the least, to actually be able to have food. And this is going to have to be, like, the basics. Only the essentials, which means I'm gonna still have a bunch of countertops, though. I wonder, like, do they, for the countertops, is it just, like, for room, or what? Or just, like, for stylishness? I think it might, those ones are only for stylishness. So I'm just gonna throw a couple of these down. I think that's probably good. I probably put down a few too many, though. Yeah. How do you... Because I think I want to put, like, the thingy there that you have food. You know, the fridge, yeah. I forgot what that was called in English. It's, ein Kühlschrank. Or should it be, like, or if you're going to be having it, like, for accused of, it should be einen. But, whatever. Einen Kühlschrank. A cold closet. That's basically what it is. Let's see, what... I think also we need some sort of stove. We could maybe have... Maybe the stove can be there. Because I want to have a lot of counter space, just so then, like, if anybody wants to serve food, that they could put it on there. That's the general idea, I think. And... I don't know, I could probably sell another one of those, possibly. Or, but that's a good amount of counters, I think, possibly. And we need to have... Oh... Yeah, we're gonna need to have a dishwasher, because I'm not putting any sort of, like, sink inside the kitchen. Screw that. Who needs a sink? Nah. Food processor, though. We need one of those. Actually, no, that's not a food processor. This is. See, I sort of remember how to do things for The Sims in the GameCube version, because that's the only version of this game that I have actually, like, played an extensive amount of. So that's why I know a bit. And I think we need a trash compactor, probably. Because that would be very useful. Okay, so that's like all the just random appliances. I think to make this a bit more stylish and so on, put that like there. I don't know. I gotta... Although that's probably a bad idea, because then that increases the potential of more things catching on fire. Which reminds me, I should probably buy some sort of device that detects fires. Which I believe is in electronics. And... other? Yeah. See, this is the reason why I played, like, earlier. And I hope that that's on the inside of the house, because if it's on the outside, that would be just ridiculous and unnecessary. Okay, I think I flipped it too much. Yeah, that seems good. They might want to have some sort of house alarm, possibly. All I know is that they definitely need to have a phone on the wall, because phones on the walls generally are the best. And it should probably be in their bedroom, but I'll put it like in the kitchen. I think that's probably a good idea. Now that the kitchen is somewhat done, let's see, what else should they have? Wait, is that like another door? Or, I need to zoom out. Or maybe that's just put all the walls up. Okay, yeah, that is actually a door. If they just had like an opening for no apparent reason, then I would be a little bit concerned. Because if their house is not concealed, oh no. Let's see, in the front room there, could probably have like a chair, or maybe that'll be like their reading room. Or maybe this should be... Basically, where they have a fireplace right now, there should be a TV, or like maybe right there. And that, I think, is just a doorway. I put up the walls again. Yeah, there's no actual... Why is this house designed this way? Because if you're, like, outside of the... People are gonna look inside the bathroom easily. The door is, like, right, like... Adjacent? No, like, not adjacent. Like, crosswise, parallel, right next to the toilet. Like, directed right towards it, at least. Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. A TV is only $85. I can do that. That's something I can afford. Actually, I'm gonna look at any of the other electronics. We probably can't... No, we can't afford, like, any of this, I don't think. Could maybe have, like, a radio. Because everybody likes to have radios and have a dance party. I'm just gonna have to have, like, a... Oh, yeah, they need to have some sort of kitchen table. Which is kind of cramped there. So maybe their kitchen table's gonna be outside. And... yeah, that could be an idea. They're just gonna have to eat outside. That's gonna be the new idea. Maybe something a bit longer. How much? $200 compared to $95. That's horrible, but I can deal with it. I think I can just barely deal with it. Although we could actually fit that in there. But balls to it. We're gonna have it outside. It's gonna be outside, and they're gonna enjoy it. Now, for stools, it's just gonna have to be the cheapest ones, because we're already running out of money, like, really, really badly. Oh, okay. That's the wrong way. That's enough for 8, so that should be good for these people. I don't know why I'm, like, prioritizing, like, chairs more than, like, bookcases, which, of course, we need to get one of those, and fast, before I think it's in miscellaneous, yeah. Knowledge. Okay. So, it looks like, that's the only thing we can actually, do, then. All we have is enough for, like, a cheap pine, bookcase. Which is a very, very bad thing. Okay, let's see. Do we have enough room, like, enough money? Yeah, we just barely have enough money. We're gonna have one chair for the TV. Oh, man, this is horrible. We have $20, so that's pretty legit. $20 for food, probably, and then that's about it. We don't have enough money for any sort of, like, alarm onto this place, but who would actually want to steal anything from us? You know, that's the thing. But yeah, onward.